Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm gonna give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The lone wolf, who you thought was a good collaborator because you didn't have the right candidate insights. But once you hired them, it was all hoarding info, declining meetings, and howling at the full moon? But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can go deeper than just the resume to find you a perfect fit. By using insights from the LinkedIn network to give you a short list of best fit candidates. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Unlock over $3,500 in business and travel value annually with statement credits on select purchases from brands like Dell, Hilton, and Adobe, and other benefits. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Based on total potential value of statement credits on select purchases and other benefits, enrollments required, monthly and other limits and terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
This season of Pack Your Knives is presented by the Charlotte Regional Visitors Authority, and we got something special, a 6-part Savor Charlotte edition diving into the people shaping one of the South's most exciting food scenes. Charlotte's been getting a lot of national buzz lately, and for good reason. From hosting Top Chef Carolinas to its growing presence in the Michelin Guide, the city is quickly becoming a place where bold new ideas and Southern tradition come together on the plate. So go check out charlottesgotalot.com for more.
Hey, Carly, I'm curious, what's your go-to dinner party dish?
I would probably do some casserole or something. Like, I'm sure I would try to do something really fancy, but like, honestly, when I think about the times that I've brought dishes over to people's places, it's been kugel, which is a sweet egg noodle dish with brown sugar and like a custardy situation. It's a side dish, but it could also be dessert because it's sweet. So it's probably that. What about you?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I tend to do rolls. So I like to make like homemade, like big sweet rolls with like butter and honey over the top. So that's been like kind of my go-to. They're hit or miss sometimes though, if I can like nail the right rise. So sometimes I don't quite get that, but when they're on, they're just so good. So I love to do that. And then I also like to do like a farro or like a mixed or wild rice, either one of those with like broccolini and fresh corn and shallots and like a vinegar based dressing. So kind of depending on like time of year, I'll kind of switch probably between those two.
That sounds delicious. I was just doing a cupboard clean out and I found a pack of opened yeast that I somehow was like, yeah, I should save this. Like it's probably been there for years. I would love homemade bread though.
Yeah. Oh man, this is off topic, but tried to during the COVID years do the sourdough bread. And it was just like, no, I would get so frustrated because it was so sticky and it would like stick to my hands and stick to the counter. And I rage quit a few times and literally just like threw it in the trash, like a half a day's work just in the trash because I was so angry, even though you could have probably just taken the dough and like put it in the oven and it would have tasted just fine. But it's like, I have no patience for that. Like rolls are pretty simple. And then like the yeast, just doing regular yeast, not sourdough. That's the way to go.
Well, everyone, welcome to episode 9 of Track Your Knives, where we are not your traditional recap podcast. We're going to be presenting you with what we're seeing in the community's power rankings, where each week you rank the players from most likely to be eliminated to most likely to win the elimination challenge. Plus, on findtopchef.com, we're also hosting tons of fantasy leagues. And so today we will be calling out those of you who are doing super well across leagues that are of different sizes. And as a reminder, the winner of the power rankings gets to have a chef curated meal at Sarah Bradley's Fright House.
Yes, that is so exciting. And I think this was another great week, though we didn't have a lot of shifting in like the top of the leaderboard. So it'll be good to see the next few weeks who secures that spot at Freight House. So I'm excited to see who gets to go down to Paducah and spend some time with Sarah. Well, this week, as we already mentioned, we had a dinner party, and our Last Chance Kitchen winner came back. So Rhoda is back in the competition, and you did a great analysis this past week on the PackYourKnives.com Substack, where you looked at how do the Last Chance Kitchen winners perform on the episode when they come back. So would love to dig into that, especially like Rhoda was in the bottom this week. So how do you typically see the Last Chance Kitchen winners when they come back? How do they do?
Yeah, so I was surprised at how generally well the Last Chance Kitchen winners do in the Elimination Challenge where they're first coming back. We've seen that about a quarter of them win that challenge where they come back, and about 8% of them are eliminated. In terms of being at the bottom where Rhoda was, that was pretty much just as you would expect in terms of the distribution, though there's fewer folks there. I personally was thinking that she was going to be coming in hot after winning Last Chance Kitchen, because that's, 3 or 4 contests all in a row, though there was the one blip where it was just for money and not for an LCK win. So I was surprised. I think she was surprised. We're at the point of the season where I pretty much love everyone. And so seeing Rhoda and Oscar at the bottom was just hard for me.
Yeah, I know. It was really sad. Yeah, she just didn't seem that inspired coming in with kind of either of the dishes that she did. So it was a bummer to not see that fire that I felt like she has, where that competitiveness. I remember the opening previews where she was talking about how she was going to win it, and I feel like she's kind of lost some of that. So I'll be curious to see if she can bring it back. But I'm sure it was tiring going from all of those episodes jumping right in, and then it's really not even getting a break. They did, and we'll talk about this in a second, but the Quickfire straight into the elimination, hardly any time to really think. So I'm sure that was really just mentally exhausting, because it didn't seem like the dish just didn't seem inspired at all from her.
Yeah, and the pace of the season seems absolutely brutal. And it could be the editing and that we're not seeing more downtime between things, but having multiple episodes where after an elimination challenge, you see Kristen or Kristen and the judges coming in to talk to the contestants about what's coming next, aka right now.
Yeah.
And that just feels maybe like a production choice, that they are just going quick, so we can hit this one particular date in South Carolina, things like that. But I personally feel like this is an exhausting season. Yeah.
Yeah. The challenge times have seemed really short, and just a very packed schedule. So yeah, I think maybe you're right. Maybe we're not seeing all the downtime, but it really does feel like they're just on constantly. And that might be part of why I just feel getting later into the season, the dishes don't seem that overly interesting. And I wonder if that's part of it, is they're all exhausted coming into this. But we'll kind of see how it goes. Well, getting into a little bit of this episode. So I was really excited to see Shuai back on our screens. I love his tiny claps.
Yes, and we got to see them.
Yes, I was like, I hope we get to see tiny claps.
Yeah, so for those of you who are listening and not on YouTube, Kendra and I both just did tiny claps in Shuai's honor.
But it's was a perfect episode for him, just kind of fumbling in with the board. And it just fit well. But I was like, I don't know how I felt about, I get like the dinner party setup and doing the small bites straight into the dinner, like the flow made a lot of sense, but kind of doing everything back to back was just, it felt like a lot. Like the episode felt really rushed. Like we didn't get a natural break at all. Even they didn't talk about who won the Quickfire until the very end. Like it just felt really kind of off, but I was curious kind of how you felt about the whole setup.
Yeah, same. I think that when we've seen, a multi-course dinner or dinner party, like this is not the first lunch or dinner party that we have seen, but usually it is someone who is in charge of appetizers. Now they clearly wanted to do past apps, which is different than, plated the way that we saw, the watermelon salad or whatnot, but it just felt odd that they wouldn't have made the appetizers part of the progression of the meal, and that it was a totally separate challenge. So I personally wasn't a huge fan, and I'm also trying to be like, am I just annoyed because they messed up my data structure? But I think also just from a pacing, I left that or finished the episode and I was just like, oh, like let's breathe. Like, it's a lot. So I don't know that I was a huge fan. I also think that they didn't. It's hard maybe to have two totally distinct dishes within such a short period of time, and you're trying to figure out how it fits into the broader menu. Like usually the Quickfires are standalone, right? They have different money, they have different shopping time. It was all at once, and I don't know that I would like to see it again personally.
Yeah, me either. I think overall, like I didn't mind the challenge itself, but it just felt very rushed, and like you said, having the same budget for both and it being such a small budget for both, like it just, I don't know, it like created a little bit of drama, not a lot of drama, but it just, I think when they put so many constraints on them, then you end up with this food that like isn't as interesting or as inspired or as high quality maybe as we would get if they didn't put quite as many constraints. And so I don't know that it's worth it for like the drama of it to not get like the great food outputs that we've maybe seen in other seasons. I don't know. Yeah. But anyways, not to be overly negative on it. It was still a good episode. And the power rankings were fun. So that's why we're here. So I'm curious, Carly, how did your power rankings go this week?
I took a huge swing and I just missed.
No.
So there were 8 people, myself included, who got scores as bad or worse than I did. I put Oscar at number 1. And I put Anthony at number 8. I was like, we're gonna see an upset, and so I just like flipped things. Though not entirely. So I had Lawrence at 3. So I got 6 points there, but I only got the 1 point for Oscar because I had him as winning.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, I think I had him in 8. And then like he did really well last week. Like might have been the winner had that other team won. Like I think they really liked his dish. And so I bumped him up to 6. So still not super high, but yeah, it's just so hard. But I had Lawrence at 3. I thought maybe it's time for Sherry or Rhoda to get some wins here. So I bumped them up a little bit. But 12 points overall out of, was it 16?
16
that we had? Yes, because failed again at reading the preview. I don't know why I thought maybe they also had to make cocktails and pair with those. So after rewatching the preview, I was like, oh, that's totally wrong, but we can't change the question now. So here we are. But no worries. We'll get to it in a bit. But this week's bonus question will happen. There will be an answer. So,
hello, listener. Producer Mays here to talk to you about Quinn's Cookware. I know cooking can feel like a lot of work these days, especially when the temptation to order takeout is stronger than ever. But trust me when I say that quality cookware makes a big difference in your experience cooking at home. I just got myself a set of 3 Staub rectangular baking dishes. Yes, that's Staub because it's French, and French means quality. It's made of Portuguese durable stoneware. It's oven safe up to 570 degrees Fahrenheit. You can even throw it in the freezer if you want. And the best part is, I know I got them at the best possible price. Because everything at Quinn's is priced 50 to 80% less than what you'd find at similar brands. You heard me right. High quality materials for half the price. How could such a thing be possible? Well, Quince works directly with manufacturers, cutting out the middlemen and passing the savings on to you. Now, Quince even carries fine wine, from Napa Valley Vineyards to Dom Perignon Champagne, enough to fill an aisle. Ho ho! So what are you waiting for? Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Go to quince.com/dings for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Go to QUINCE.com/dings, DINGS, for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dings.
well, how did everyone do outside of us in predicting the winner and who ended up getting eliminated this week?
Yeah, so we have one perfect score this week, and that is Logan R. So congrats to them. In general, people did pretty well. Like they had, let's see, what is that? 2/3 of people had Lawrence in their top 3, and 2/3 of people had Oscar in their bottom 3. So and we see that too in the distribution of the amount of points that people got.
Mm-hmm.
Like most people got 13 points or higher. And then there's those of you with 12, Kendra, and then not that many of us who who did worse than that. But I'm proud of it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
So generally people have done well this week. Once again, Michelle is
Crushing
this is
it.
the 6th episode where Michelle has had the winner in their top 3 and the bottom in their bottom, or the eliminated chef in their bottom 3. And there are 4 players who have done this 4 times, and that's Cosmic Cave Soup. Great name. M Dash, Gazzetto 11, and Megan V. So they're also, they've had some pretty good aims when it comes to a couple of these episodes.
That's awesome. I think this week I managed to get, the top 3, bottom 3, which I don't generally do well with. So got a week. But no, that's great. Yeah. And it felt like, I mean, putting Lawrence at the top is generally pretty safe bet, and Oscar towards the bottom. So yeah, not too surprised. Though I'm like so bummed to see him go. Like his commentary is always on point in interviews, and between all of the chefs, like just has such good interactions and banter with them. So I think it's definitely just a big loss from an entertainment perspective to not have him on anymore. But I'm sure we'll find some other good comedic relief, hopefully, as we go.
Yeah, or if they continue to get more tired, maybe not, but
yes,
we'll see.
I know. Yeah, we'll get into the next episode here in a minute, but that one looks like it's going to be tiring as well. I was curious, so I took a peek at this, but from a perspective of like, who do they think was most expected to win this challenge? Obviously, we know Lawrence was at the top, but who else was at the top of the list from a winning perspective?
Yeah, so in terms of the number of people who chose each chef to win, Rhoda was just behind Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so Lawrence had 30 people choose him as most likely to win, and Rhoda had 29 choose her. A big difference, though, which comes out in their overall average rank, is that no one chose Lawrence to be eliminated. And 21 people chose Rhoda to be the eliminated chef. And that was the second highest in terms of what chef was chosen the most times as most likely to be eliminated. So it really seemed like Rhoda people were either like, she's going to come in great or she's not going to do so well. And
it would have been interesting to ask people when they did the ranking. So last week we had a placeholder for the LCK winner. So for those who don't have Peacock and didn't spoil who the LCK winner was, I'd be really curious to know like who knew it was Rhoda and who didn't know. And if that made any difference. So we'll never know. We can do this for next time. But yeah, that would be like the only thing that I like, because that's like so polarizing to have like almost as many people think that she's going to be as eliminated as think she would win. So I'd be curious if that had an impact at all.
Yeah. And, we see that in the standard deviation too, that people are pretty far apart in how they see her. Sherry likewise has a large standard deviation this episode, though she's really been climbing in terms of the number of people who are choosing her to be the winner. There were 24 people who chose her to be the winner, and only 6, which is relatively low, to be chosen to be eliminated. And I think that, at least in the discussions I've been having with some friends, like people do see Sherry as a likely finalist. I'm not totally sure. I'm pretty sure Lawrence is in the finale.
Yeah.
Other than that, I am not sure. But Sherry, has been doing well.
I mean, she's only been on the bottom once, I think we had said. And she always gets good remarks. Like this week, they said her food was good. I don't know that there was any bad comments on it. But so she's not, I think she's like cooking well enough to stay in the middle or towards the top, but she's just never seems to be doing enough to push her up to the top from a win perspective. But I would agree. I think she's someone that could totally be a finalist. She doesn't make a lot of technical mistakes. And I feel like as you get into these later episodes, that's generally what is sending someone home, or just small small issues. So I could definitely see her being on the list.
Speaking of technical mistakes, Oscar spilling so much turmeric. Then like I once made a soup that had too much turmeric, and like I do a lot of experimenting with food and not using recipes. But my partner and one of my stepkids like pretty much guaranteed to eat anything. And he was like, Carly, I'm so sorry. Like, I cannot eat this soup. And so like I didn't want to throw it away, but like it was bitter.
Yeah.
It was bitter, but I was like, at least I'm getting antioxidants.
Right.
But it wasn't good.
Oh, no. I know. They mentioned it. I think towards the end, they were like, I think there was too much turmeric in it. So, like, I don't think I've ever had that. So I know. Oh my gosh. Well, I was very bummed to see him go. But looking forward to next week, there's fishing. So we'll be interested to see if they're actually cooking the fish that they're catching or just fishing with Tom for fun. How do you feel about that?
I personally wouldn't, because I would just want to sit and enjoy the wind and like be in the, like make sure that I was always in the sun and not in the shade, because then I would be cold. Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on if they're doing something where they have to serve more than 8 people, for example, because if then it's based on how much you catch and it's like you have to do 100 portions. That's a huge problem, and I wouldn't like that as a design of a challenge.
Yeah.
If it's that, you're cooking for 8 judges, I think that's probably okay. And it is probably also fun for them to get out and do something like that. I am watching America's Culinary Cup and I am enjoying it, but everything happens in that kitchen. And I do like how in Top Chef, they're going out, they're doing other things. And part of the appeal as a viewer is being able to see all these different areas. So I am curious to learn more about what fish are in that part of the Atlantic. Because I don't know.
Yeah, neither. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting if they're cooking what they catch, or hopefully they'll give them some backup, especially if they fish like I fish. I think I've caught a fish one time, and it was that big. So I don't think I could cook that up. So hopefully they're helping them out in case they don't have a good fishing day. But outside of the fishing, I'm excited for the Mise en Place challenge to be back. That will be fun.
I love those. And I need to figure out what exactly I'll be able to say. But I've got a post sort of in the making about, how many times do they crush chestnuts? I don't know. Do you crush chestnuts? I don't know. Or like supreme and orange. So I have both verbs, counts, and objects that people have mise en place over the years. But it's sometimes they don't show it, or it's fill up to 1 quart.
Yeah.
So, but I love it. I think it's so much fun. I just remember, was it season 4, Dale punching the locker after not doing it, and then in season 3, Hung like just going after this chicken and like was just done so quickly. Like for me and All Stars LA, like that's how they started. Like I just mise en place relays or races for me, like I just have very specific memories for Top Chef, and so I too am very excited.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And that is, so our bonus question for this week is who will win the Mise en Place Quickfire challenge. So yeah, I'm excited for that one and to see what they'll have to do in this one. All right. Well, I think we can chat about Fantasy League since power rankings were pretty straightforward this week. Speaking of straightforward, the scoring was pretty easy this week. No quickfire bottoms were mentioned. And then just normal scores for the week. Did want to mention just a couple interesting things from the Fantasy League scoring. So Anthony, Lawrence, and Jennifer now each have won 2 quickfires. So they've won 6 of the 9 quickfires total. And then Lawrence is the first chef this season that has won 3 elimination wins. So he is crushing it in the Fantasy League points. And the top team in our league, I think I have mentioned, has Lawrence and Sherry, and is like, I'm in second, and the points gap is very large between the two of us, and then everyone else has like 5 points or less. And so, yeah, he's just crushing it. And so kudos to everyone who has him on their team and is crushing everyone. Speaking of teams, how are all of our Fantasy League teams doing?
Yeah, so this week I thought it would be fun to call out the top team for each sort of number of chefs that have been drafted.
Awesome.
There were 2 things that I saw that I was like, I wonder what's happening here. M. Croissant of PYK League, I think 6. I need to double check that. Somehow has 6 chefs when everyone else in a PYK League has 5. And so that's why they are winning. So I need to figure that out. And then when I was looking at teams that have drafted 6 chefs and teams that have drafted 8 chefs, there were teams from top Pensacola that were in the top for both of those. And so just for me, I was like, oh, like they drafted different amounts of people, even though they're in the same league. So if you're top Pensacola, DM me on Substack or Instagram at Carly Suber and let me know, or Kendra too. And we can sort of fix that in our system. But
we did have, and I don't know if it's that league, but there's a league where they allow people to draft the same chefs. And so you can have any, like, let's say 5 chefs or whatever chefs. And so 2 people could have like Rhoda or Lawrence in their leagues. I don't know if that would be it, but we can look into it and see, or maybe they have broke the system and hacked it and done something crazy.
Yeah. So Risotto Curse of PYK4 is still in the lead of the teams with 2 chefs. Of the teams with 3 chefs, team 2 of League Hee is in the lead. And let's see, of the teams with 4 chefs, team 2 of Audubon Chefs.
That's fun.
Let's see. And then we have a tie for teams of 5. Susan of League La Bear Top Chef 26, and Mom's team of Cook for Auntie. And this is a fun name. In the teams that have drafted 6 chefs, team Serving Low Country of Top Pensacola is tied with team 1 of Top Chef Skinny Candle. Ian from League Restaurant Wars is leading the teams of 7, and Comfy Chicken Biscuit of Top Pensacola is leading the teams with 8 chefs.
Nice.
Congrats to you all.
Yes,
hope you can keep it up.
Everyone. Yeah, good luck. We've got a couple more episodes to go. Well, that will wrap it up for today. So just a few reminders. Make sure you submit your rankings on findtopchef.com. That's find-topchef.com. Those are due 5 minutes before the episode airs, which is most weeks 9:30 Eastern. So make sure you get your rankings in, but I'll always send out a reminder email for any of you that haven't the day of. As we mentioned, bonus question this week is who will win the Mise en Place Quickfire. And then make sure you check out all of the great content on packyourknives.com. As Carly mentioned, she's working on a Mise en Place analysis for this week. And then make sure you check out Tom and Sarah's episode recaps. And this week, Tom also did an interview with Brittany from this season. So make sure you check out that interview as well. And I think that's it. Anything else, Carly?
No. And this has been Track Your Knives.